Hey everyone, it's cold outside and I don't see it warming up anytime soon. I'm cold, you're cold, we're all cold. And what better way to warm yourself and enjoy the cozy indoors than with a bowl of chili? But you want to know what chili will be perfect right now? Short rib chili.
Have you ever met anyone who doesn't like chili? I mean, seriously, I don't know of a single person who doesn't enjoy it. Maybe people don't like it too thick or thin, but those are just preferences. Now that I think of it, chili might be one of the world's most favorite foods. To me, a good chili has properties that are dense in combination of sweet, fresh, and hot flavor profiles. If your chili has meat, then it also should have a robust flavor and the beans should be tender and intact. And lastly, it should be held entirely together by a thick and deep red sauce. That is the chili we all dream of. Now let's get started. Before I forget, like and subscribe. Now let's do this. First, choose the pepper that works best for you. I wanted to try some new peppers that I researched, so I decided to go with Ancho and Guajillo chili peppers. I got these from my local farmer's market, and you can probably find them at one close to you as well. Ancho peppers have a taste that I would consider sweet, earthy, and smoky. It is 1,000 to 2,000 Scoville heat units. Personally, that is considered not spicy, and trust me, I love a good kick here and there, but I prefer mild to medium spice. So for those of you who are worried about it, don't be with this pepper. Actually, for reference, here is the Scoville heat unit scale. Anchos are ranked with bell peppers, and the other pepper we're using is the Guajillo pepper, and it ranks at 2,500 to 5,000 Scoville heat units. And don't you worry, because that still ranks less in spiciness than a jalapeno, which is at 2,500 to 8,000 units. So trust me on this, if you can handle the slightest bit of spice, then add the medium spice Guajillo pepper and you'll love it. However, if you want to admit it, that's fine, you'll just miss the beautiful smoky flavor that this pepper has to offer. Once you've got 3 Ancho and 2 Guajillo peppers, set them aside. Now grab your beans because we're about to drain them. Come on guys, if your mind went to the gutter, then check yourself. I meant literally, drain them from the can and rinse them. Now for the sake of this video and my sanity, I bought canned beans. You can make your own beans from dried beans, but I want these recipes to be realistic and feasible for you all at home, because I probably will never do that unless I absolutely have to. Once you drain your beans, grab your meat, and by meat, I mean the ground bison, 2 to 3 pounds of it to be specific. If you don't have that, use ground beef, but make sure it's 90% lean beef and 10% fat or less. I'll explain why in a second. Place your ground beef in a wide saucepan so we can brown it. For those of you who don't know what browning your meat is, it's essentially how you can take any meat up a notch of flavor when cooking. Cook your beef until it is, well, brown. Truthfully, I'm having trouble explaining this next part, so bear with me. Cook it until it's brown, continue to cook until all the moisture is gone. Remember, we don't want to boil our beef. At this point, add in 1 tablespoon of butter. Incorporate your butter well and continue cooking until your beef literally gets a shade darker. I use my eyes and ears because you will hear this distinct popping noise that may scare you, but that means we're doing this right. Also, make sure to scrape the stuck-on brown bits. We want those. Here's what the final product should look like. This is actually called the Maillard reaction. Let's take a second to understand why we are browning our beef in short ribs. It's basically a complex reaction that occurs when protein and sugars are heated to create new flavors, aromas, and colors, aka browning. This is why charring your burgers tastes so great, or toasting your bread adds that extra oomph to your sandwich. It's important to know what this is because this really does add so much flavor to your food, and there are so many ways to incorporate this into your cooking. Next, grab your short ribs, load them with fresh ground black pepper and salt for maximum flavor, and brown them as well. We're not actually cooking them all the way through. They'll do that in the oven later. So turn your heat up to medium-high, and once your Dutch oven or brazier is hot as hell, pour in some olive oil and let them brown on all sides. About 45 seconds to 1 minute for each side should do. After that, set them aside to cool. Grab a sweet onion and dice it up. Don't judge my dicing and chopping skills here, I've got a video coming on that soon. I was being lazy. After you've taken care of business, grab your tomato and do the same thing. Next, take 3 cloves of garlic and put it through your grater just as I am here. That's it. You'll get a nice garlic paste when done. Now, I did measure my peppers, but I forgot to write down how much they weighed when filming, so that was absolutely useless. Let's make our chili paste because we're not buying chili powder. This is the key to this recipe, so don't skip this step. Remember the Maillard reaction I mentioned earlier? It's about to happen again with these peppers. Toast them very well. The sweet, fruity, earthy, and smoky aroma will all hit you at once so hard, it won't burn your nose or anything, but you will realize at this point how delicious this chili is going to be when you smell this. Once toasted for about 4 to 5 minutes on medium heat, add in 2 cups of chicken stock. I used some chicken bone broth, but I did use stock too. Stock will give you more flavor though. And for those wondering why I didn't make stock, I was low on time, but as you know, we'll do a video on that too. Once your peppers soften from simmering, add them to a blender or food processor to create your paste. Let's grab our short rib and cut it into 1/4 inch cubes now that it has cooled. In your Dutch oven or brazier, heat on high and add in your onion and a tablespoon of olive oil. Cook, but don't brown it or caramelize it. That's not what we want here. Once cooked for about 1 minute, add in your fresh oregano and chili paste. If you thought your house smelled great before, this is where it gets better. Now add in 2 cups or 500 milliliters of chicken stock, and also add 1/4 of a cup or 50 milliliters of apple cider vinegar. As it simmers, add in a 12-ounce can of tomato paste and a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. Add in 2 fresh bay leaves. You can use dried, but I own a bay leaf tree, so I just pick mine when I need. Toast 10 grams or 2 tablespoons of coriander and 12 grams or 2 tablespoons of cumin and add it to it as well. Add 15 grams of unsweetened chocolate and 2 tablespoons or 30 grams of brown sugar. Add in a shot or 2 of whiskey or bourbon. This just helps with the aromatics, so you can omit this if you want, but it also boils off, so there's really no need to worry. Add 35 grams or 2 tablespoons of cornmeal. Lastly, add in your ground bison and short rib. We're also going to add in the bones too for more flavor, trust me. Set your oven at 280 degrees Fahrenheit, mix it well, cover with a lid, and let it sit in the oven for 3 hours. You can add more stock halfway through if you feel the need, but you will add in your beans and tomatoes here at 1.5 hours in. In the meantime, let's chop up our cilantro and green onions and jalapenos. And when done in the oven, it'll look like this. Voila! Wow, the meat literally falls off the bones in this recipe. Now add in your 1/3 tablespoon of brown sugar, grab yourself a warm bowl, pour in your chili, top it with sour cream, corn chips, onions, cilantro, and lime, and have yourself a grand time. Stay warm out there, folks. For any questions, comment below, or if you just want to say hello and leave nice thoughts, do that too. I promise I read every comment and get back to everyone, which is pretty easy to do when you have less than 100 subscribers. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you. If you thought this recipe looked delicious, or if I made you hungry, then good, that was the point. And if this isn't your first time watching my videos, like this video and smash that subscribe button because you clicked this thumbnail for a reason. Go follow me on other social media channels. It's Cooking with Copeland on Instagram and TikTok. If you make any of my food, post it and tag me. I want to see your creations and your own spins and twists and things. I'll repost it and it will make my day to see you out there. With that being said, go make some chili and I'll see you all next week.